So this is the first night that I am planning my 30-day, it could be longer, but for now I'm doing a 30-day journey inward and back to myself. Posted on my Instagram, a lot of people were interested, so I'm literally, I have my laptop here and I'm outside because it's 4th of July and there's just like fireworks everywhere, which is super sick, and a bunch of ambulances, so I'm assuming a bunch of people have like blown their fingers off doing fireworks. Oh, you see that? It looks so cool. It's like the whole city's lighting up. But it's just really cool. I decided to I got invited to a pool party and I could have gone out, but all I would have done is probably drank and ate shitty food, and it would have been fun. It would have been fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's living life, hanging with your friends. But this month, and there's no specific date, I'm just like starting now essentially. It's just really, it's lovely to sit here on my balcony, but it's fun to just like sit here by myself with no one else. And I kind of get, I had to go in here because this is really loud. I kind of get upset at times like this because my goal is to spend more time by myself and like romanticizing my life with myself, and it's good, it's fun. I'm just the kind of person that like, I'm such a lover girl and I love sharing it with either friends or a partner, and through a breakup recently, and the person's really great. I don't have any hard feelings against him. I think he has a lot of stuff he has to figure out personally, but I really think he's a great person, and I'm going on this journey because I'm healing from that relationship and just for a few other things. I get like this sometimes where like I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm watching the fireworks, I'm like sitting with myself, sitting with Ned, just like soaking it in and having a good time, just being by myself. But there's those moments where I'm like, oh, this would be so fun to like share this with someone. And the thing I've reminded myself is that I ask myself in those moments, what's the reason that I need to share this with someone? What's the reason that like I need that in this moment? And like, why can't my reaction, my presence be enough? And it is. And I think that there's nothing wrong with like wanting to share it with someone, but I think it's really important to get to a place where like you just feel good on your own, and anything added is just like a bonus. It's a cherry on top. So anyway, I'm gonna enjoy these fireworks. I don't know what part in the video this is gonna go, but I'm excited. We have groceries. I probably look like a fucking crazy person, but that's not cute. So much of this is not like I'm trying to force finding the perfect partner. I brought Ned with me, so we love that. I feel like I'm looking fit today. I am hiding in the bathroom because I don't know if this speed dating thing is it. I'm just the worst at being a vlogger. This place is just absolutely insane. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be camping here, but I got my Creed t-shirt on. I am ready. Everything's very figure outable. I just took myself out to another solo date. I felt such a shift when I woke up the next morning. A lot of the things I've been doing have like gone wrong. Then recently I met someone.
All I did good, son. Are failures. All I got are failures. All I got are failures. Failures. All I got are failures. Failures. All I got are failures.
Okay, so this weekend I worked on so much of this new journey workbook. Like, I'm gonna share this by the time this goes out in the world may have already seen this, but I am just so excited for this like little workbook. I still need to make up like some touches and things like that, but I have like these daily tasks and weekly tasks and monthly tasks and all these fun things. It's just gonna be super dope. This whole thing was just like supposed to start for me, and I haven't started it yet. I've been like laying out everything, and I'm gonna start tomorrow. The goal of it is a journey inward and back to myself. I don't necessarily feel like I'm lost or anything, but I feel like I've been wanting to spend more time with myself. Less going out, no dating apps, all of those things, like just to like not really drinking, not having as much sugar, forcing myself to be by myself, to go inward and discover myself more. This doesn't mean like not going out to social events and then sitting on my bed and scrolling. Not that I'm saying that doesn't happen, but like that's the goal, is to not do that. Spend more time, instead of, you know, if I'm not going to go out, I'm going to do inner work, whether that be like shadow work or meditation or just coloring or just like doing things that like fuel my inner child and fill up my soul, and see what I find when I do that. That's why I wanted to create this little workbook, and I wanted to make it really like accessible to a lot of people. So it's like one of my like lowest ticket offers, and I'm gonna put it out. It's kind of be like a beta test and then see how it goes, because we're gonna get the workbook and you're gonna be able to like get the workbook on its own. I didn't want to do anything extra because this whole thing was like for me to do for myself. It wasn't even supposed to be like an offer or a program. But when I posted it on Instagram, so many people said that they were like, I want to do this too, I need this too. So I was like, you got to give the people what they want, right? Just to keep me on track. It's like nutrition, morning routine, workout, all the normal things. And then there's weekly tasks, which are kind of like the things that I want to do for this journey inward. That's like going on a hike once a week by myself, taking myself out to dinner once a week, like things like that I want to make time for. And so I give recommendations in the workbook, but you could do whatever you want. It's the things that you know you need. And then the monthly tasks are kind of like just like once or twice a month, things that like you really need to make time for, that you're not necessarily going to do every week, but you could do once in the month. And there's like a challenges page where I want everyone to pick 3 things that are hard, that either like you've been putting off, and they don't have to be like scary necessarily. It could be like having a tough conversation with someone that you've been really needing to have, or like start learning a new language, or something where you're going to kind of like start a journey or do something. Like one of the other things I want to do is go on a hike and take mushrooms on my own, things like that. And so there's more to the workbook, but I just want to share this because I have a feeling that this is going to be something that's going to be a staple within my coaching. If it goes well, I know I'm going to use it, and I want other people to use it, and I'm really excited about it. We have groceries. Okay, so I just got back from Trader Joe's. Side note, this is like a future reference, when I move out of this apartment, which is in December, I'm gonna put all my stuff in storage, and I am moving to Europe for like 3 or 4 months. I'm so excited. Not moving, I should say moving. Like I'm getting a citizenship. I am just gonna live there for like 3 or 4 months, and it's gonna be great. I'm waiting to see if the Eagles make the Super Bowl and staying in the country till then, and then leaving like Valentine's Day week, and then staying there till probably like May. So that should be fun.
Get your money, man. Life goes on.
I'm hopeful. Yes, I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it.
Anyway, a part of this self-discovery journey, obviously I'm doing a lot of inner work and less social things, no dating apps, all that fun stuff, in order for me to learn more about me. But also a piece of this is just being on track. I'm being more on top of my shit. And I eat pretty healthy, but I always do better when I have a little bit of a plan. And so that's what this is. Also, these shorts are shrinking on me a little bit, but is my ass hanging out? I don't know. Let's talk about what I got, because I got all of this for under $100. I usually like to shop at Costco, but I just haven't been lately. So anyway, so I got a bunch of greens for salads. I'm not a big salad person, but there are some salads on this meal plan, and we're just going with it. This is my favorite milk. It's flax milk, but the ingredients are pretty decent, and it's flax milk, and there's 5 grams of protein in it, which I really like. A lot of dairy-free milks don't have any protein, so I've been getting that brand for like 6 years, something like that. I love getting frozen vegetables. I get a lot of fresh vegetables, but to me, it's a lot cheaper to get frozen, and I can throw them in stir fries. Like, it makes it pretty easy. If I ever want to eat fresh veggies, like, yeah, I can't dip them in hummus unless I have them, but those were, I didn't even show what they were. That was frozen broccoli and frozen spinach. Then I got frozen bell peppers. Then I love these. These are like $2.99 at Trader Joe's. Turkey burgers. Ingredients are turkey, kosher salt, and rosemary extract. There's 4 of them. This is 4 meals for $2.99. Can't beat it. Bacon, because in the plan, there's like these egg bacon cups, and it's literally just bacon in a cupcake tin, crack an egg in there, and you eat like 4 of them for breakfast. Amazing. 2 things of ground beef. Cool. We got eggs. So if you're maybe wondering why I'm sharing this on my YouTube channel, even though this is supposed to be like the failure diaries, there's elements of me sharing stuff that are like just regular, because I did that when I did my day vlog thing, the last video. And so this isn't just about to show everything that I'm failing at. It's kind of showing like me doing stuff like this, and then I'll probably share in this video at some point, because this is going to be a whole month long. Well, I think a month long. Maybe I'll just do like a week or 2 of this, but because if I do a month long, it's gonna be so much footage. Probably gonna end up fucking eating ice cream or some shit. And so You get it. I'm just getting the big thing of spring mix versus just these. And I just realized I did this and I didn't need to get these, but that's fine. We have extra. And a lot of times when this goes bad, I just throw it in the freezer and you can use it later. But this is really great. Like both of those were the same price as this. And even though like it doesn't seem that big, there's a lot packed in here. Like this will last me longer than a week. Sparkling water because your girl is obsessed. And I usually get Waterloo, but Waterloo's like $7 right now, and this is only like $4.99. So some blueberries, we love that. Avocado, sweet potato, lemons. I needed some smoked paprika, olive oil. You get some fresh veggies, organic bell peppers. I like to just like eat them like an apple because I'm a psycho. Always have pickles on hand. I like to snack on things that aren't just carbs. I love carbs, I eat carbs, but I like to have veggies. That way when I'm snacking, and pickles are amazing, I'm just snacking on vegetables. I got tuna. I was supposed to get like fish, but I just decided I wanted tuna, so that's all I got for my groceries. Also, I know that I should use a microphone because this is a YouTube channel and the sound is so important, but I forget sometimes, so there's your failure. We are taking ourselves out on our first solo date. I've taken myself out to dinner before. I've done the whole solo date thing, but because this is my journey inward, one time a week, and I planned it on Wednesdays just to make it a little bit easier, is the day that I take myself out on a date. I'm like getting fully ready. Really am like thinking the whole time I'm doing this process. I'm not just gonna like take myself out to dinner and then that's it. I'm really being very intentional about this process. I'm not just doing this to like manifest my perfect partner and take myself out on a date because I'd want a partner to do that. There's definitely a piece of that, but it's also just to self-care myself and to take care of myself and to spoil myself and to treat myself the way I want to be treated just because. But there's also the element that is I want a partner to treat me like this. I like have a candle lit, I'm playing music. My favorite type of genre, if you follow me on social media, you know that like electronic music is my favorite. I love house music, I love bass music, but it's actually not my favorite genre. My favorite genre is like neo soul R&B, like Masego, FKJ, Daniel Caesar. Good and Plenty with Alex Isley and Masego is like one of my favorite songs. Like that is the epitome. Masego, Navajo, like that is the epitome of my favorite type of music. But so I have that playing. I'm gonna pick a restaurant. Usually I'll pick one ahead of time, but I haven't picked one yet. I'm just gonna like look for one that's like very sexy, cool, like probably have a lot of people on dates on it, but like I'm gonna go by myself. And I usually sit at the bar, depending on how I feel. I might sit at a table. Gonna get ready, gonna look cute, going to think about all the things that I would want a partner to do on a date night, and I'm gonna do them for myself. Also, I'm like, just showing the realness. I'm like breaking out heavily. I have PCOS. I don't really struggle with the symptoms as much anymore. I feel like I've really healed it, but stress, drinking, sugar can cause this, and that was this past weekend. So, and I'm in my journey inward, which is just to share because this is the Failure Diaries. Last week was my first like full week of my journey inward, and this weekend I had a camping trip planned. And so I could have not drank alcohol, but I chose to. And so that could be looked at as a failure, but the journey inward is not about being perfect. It is about doing my best to stay on top of it. And so less alcohol, less sugar is on the list of the things I'm doing less of. You can grab the workbook and like the show notes in the bottom. It is the exact plan that I am currently using, including me making this whole video. That's the workbook. So I'm gonna vlog this whole night. This is a vulnerable thing, and I want to share this as a failure because hopefully you can hear me, but it's interesting. I have this idea in my head, and I don't like purposely think it, but it happens, and then it feels like it proves me right. But I have this idea in my head that like, kind of like that feeling of being picked last in dodgeball or like picked last in gym class to like be on someone's team. I have that feeling about myself sometimes. I always have this feeling that I'm gonna pick a place and there's gonna be nobody there. And then I go to these places and there's like 3 people there. And like, I like going to places that are busy, I can people watch. Go to Barcelona Wine Bar in Denver. That's like my go-to place because it's always busy, but I like to pick new places, and so I go to new places, and then I always end up like picking like duds. And the place I went to was really dope, like it was really cool drinks, but there's just like nobody there. And so I decided I'm gonna go to a different place, and this is a place that has been on my list for a while, so we're gonna see if there's actually people there. I have a feeling that there will be, but we'll see. I'm manifesting that this is gonna be a great date night because I'm picking something different and we're gonna go for it. I love it. I just made a video. I was like, oh, it's gonna be great. I went there and the fucking power was out. So this, I'm trying not to let things confirm that every time I try to go do something for myself, people aren't gonna be there, or it's not gonna be cool. I decided to go to Punch Bowl Social, which is like very much just kind of like it's got like bowling and darts and shit. It's very much like date night. It's not like moody, cool bar to go sit by yourself. So I went there, got a drink, wasn't feeling it. So then I decided to go to a different bar. It was much more fun. And I ended up having an amazing glass of wine and an amazing dinner. And it was great. So it took me 3 tries, but I found something that worked and it was really good. So I'm proud of myself. Tonight was fun. I had a nice little date night, had a few drinks, nothing fancy. I'm trying not to let the limiting beliefs I have be true because a lot of things were proven right tonight. I'm the one that's bringing them into existence. I can walk into these places thinking it's gonna be the best fucking night ever, even though I did do that and then the power was out of one place, but it is what it is. Oh wow, I'm really cute. That's not cute. So we are going, I say we, like I have people with me. I'm going on my solo hike. So my journey inward, one of my weekly things is a solo hike. And so this is the first one I'm going on. Didn't get a chance to go on one last week, but so I'll do an extra one at the end of the month. But I'm excited. And I realized I picked a trail that I've been before and I wanted to go somewhere new, but it's whatever. We're still gonna have a great time. Been on this hike before. I actually went during my bachelorette party. My bachelorette party was in Denver. Had no idea I'd be living here at one point, but it's like one of those things that I like want to take back. Not that like this trail is like bad or anything, but like it's something that was related to my past. So just like when you listen to a song that's like related to an ex, or you go to a restaurant that you used to go with them, I think it's important, at least for me, to like take back those things, not like as like a negative thing towards the other person, just like so I can have new memories with it myself. And it's not just like I have this memory and it's related to that person. I can still have that memory, but I want it to be more mine, if that makes sense. Having a lot of thoughts. Highly recommend. So like, also I microdosed some acid, so that's cool too. I just saw a fucking rattlesnake on the trail, which is like so sick. I'm very much a believer in like symbolism and like science from the universe and shit. And I gotta go look that up, but I'm just imagining that's a reminder of how feminine and badass I am. You know, just like being your fucking tear somebody's head off with your teeth feminine, you know? Dark feminine. That was so sick. I love snakes. Love snakes. That's the biggest one I've seen, like in person, biggest one. So I never see animals when I'm on a hike. I always want to, and I'm always with other people. So the fact that I'm by myself and I saw one was like a wink from the universe for sure. One of the things that I'm really proud of with this, which usually happens when I do stuff like this, when I did my boy sober thing for like 5 or 6 months, I had a lot of these and I kept, what it is I kept note section of my phone and have it like pinned to the top, and I just keep track of like the revelations that I have throughout my journey. I think that we all have revelations and we all have like thoughts and things like that, but there's something about when you're intentional about a little bit like of a journey and you have like a little bit of a game plan. Like this is different than just me going about my life every day. Like I'm very intentional about what I'm doing right now, and the fact that I know that that note is there, it's almost like my brain and the things I'm doing in my life are happening more often and creating more opportunities for me to have revelations. And so the revelations can be about anything. Typically they're going to be like related to what you're currently going through in life and what you're thinking most about. For me currently, that is like anything related to like relationships, anything related to money, and a little bit about things with like my body, I'd say, because everything else in my life feels pretty good, and all of those areas still feel good, but I'm focusing on them and trying to improve them and grow and whatnot. I also have some like thoughts about my business, but I would say like most of my thoughts are related right now to like my relationship with myself, so I can make that really, 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 really great, and then attract the person that I want to be with. And I know this is a lot what I probably have talked about in this journey inward. So much of this is not like I'm trying to force finding the perfect partner or I'm trying to obsess over the topic. the relationship with yourself is the most important thing in the entire world. So it's an important thing. It's more of me just not trying to have like massive control over it, but it's what I'm focusing on in this current phase of my life. I just want to say, like, if you don't already have like a space where you do that, and not like a bunch of separate notes, like a place where you kind of collect these and then you can reflect on them, you can journal on them. The more you collect them and then read them back, the more it's going to create even more revelations. It's just been really great. This week I'm taking myself on a solo date. I'm doing a solo date and a picnic all combined into one. My goal was to take myself on a picnic once this month. That was one of my monthly tasks. And so I decided to just combine the solo date and the picnic. And so this is the picnic. I brought Ned with me, so we love that. My journal, I have some snackies. And we're just doing it at Sloan's Lake, which is like the only water in Denver. So that's fun, but we're vibing. Ned's vibing. Good morning, Krusty Krab. Oh my god, my bed looks a mess. I need to fix it, but I can't because you're in the way. Mommy's gonna speed date today. Are you excited for her? Okay, cool. Today is speed dating. This is one of the notes I left for myself. I feel like I'm looking fit today. I'm going to Pilates, so that's fun. Okay, we love this. But anyway, I'm about to go get an oil change. I really wish I could just do it myself, but it's one thing I still haven't learned how to do. I know, it's very simple, but I'm going to get an oil change, and then I'm going to Pilates, then I'm going back to my house to get ready, and then I'm going speed dating. Holy shit. I'm like not nervous. I like was for a little bit, but then I realized I'm a really good conversationalist and it's something I pride myself in. I already know some questions I'm gonna ask right out of the gate, and I think I'm gonna crush it. I think I'm gonna kill it. So I'm gonna try to vlog. I obviously don't wanna have my camera in people's faces, so I'm gonna try to like vlog when I first get there and like what it looks like and the setup, and then I'll like see what clips I can get. That should be fun. And then a part of my 30-day journey inward is I wanted to do a solo road trip, and it's almost the end of the month. I'm probably going to continue this outside of July for maybe like another week or two, but next week is the end of July. My parents are coming into town, so this is really the only opportunity I have to go on this solo road trip. So I am coming back from speed dating, packing up my car, and then going to the Garden of the Gods, which is in Colorado Springs that I haven't been to yet. And I'm gonna car camp, and I'm gonna be by myself. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna take some psychedelics and walk around in nature. So it should be a fun weekend. I am hiding in the bathroom because I don't know if this speed dating thing is it. Like, it's just a lot of everybody is not my type, and I wanna give it a chance. But like, you have to be initially attracted to people right off the bat. And I met these two other girls and they almost left because of the same reason. So we're gonna see how this goes. Is it hotter down there? I am just the worst at being a vlogger. Like, I like forget that I'm supposed to be filming things. And so I went to speed dating. Sorry, it wasn't it. I just like was not attracted to anybody. And it just like was not my crowd. There was one guy that I did connect with. He was a Virgo sun, Virgo rising, and Taurus moon, which was very interesting. And you know me, of course, I'm getting people's zodiac signs like right out of the gate. We did exchange Instagrams. I had a few people ask for my number, but I don't give my number out to people unless like we've been talking consistently. That was fun, but I didn't like really record much of it. It wasn't the best, and it was really disorganized as a Virgo. I like was really annoyed at how disorganized it felt and like how not put together it was. It was kind of irritating, but now I am on my way to do my solo car camping road trip. This is funny because I am going completely blind. Like I knew I wanted to do a road trip, but I just picked somewhere. So I picked the Garden of the Gods, which is in Colorado Springs. It's only like an hour outside of Denver, but I have no idea where I'm camping. No idea. I just like looked online and looked on Reddit, and it looks like there's places I can stay. So I'm just like having my fingers crossed, hope that it's good. It's also already 7 o'clock, and I'm gonna get there probably around 8. It's raining. I'm gonna car camp, but if I can set up my tent, I will. Really just wanna go and be by myself and listen to music and look at the stars, and then I wanna wake up in the morning really early and I'm gonna go hiking, but I'm gonna take some psychedelics and weasel around in nature by myself. I have these, which are also really, really good. These are epic pork rinds, and they're awesome. I also have one of these for the first time in almost a month, and I'm very proud of myself because my goal was less sugar. Oh, that was lightning, holy shit. Goal was less sugar, and those have like a decent amount of sugar in them, even though it's like organic and this and that, blah, 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 blah. I'm really excited to do this on my own, and I'm like really loving this whole dating myself, and I've done things like this, but again, this journey inward is about being so intentional and so consistent with the things I'm doing with myself, and it just feels really good, and I'm like a little worried because it's feeling so good. I don't want a man to come in and fucking interrupt this, like at all. I'm having so much fun by myself. Okay, this is absolutely insane because I thought that I was gonna be able to park close to here, but for some reason I can't. And so it is 8:36 and found a place I can go that has dispersed camping, but it's 45 minutes from here. So we're not gonna get to camping until 9:20. And I've gotten like late to camping before and set up my tent in like the dark. And I might just camp in my car anyway. Oh my God, do you see this? Like, holy shit. This is the Garden of the Gods. Like, what? This place is just absolutely insane. You can't even really like see anything, but like, see that? Like, God, I love Colorado. It's just the best. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be camping here, but I couldn't find a spot, and I think this is it, because I see a fire, and I'm like, okay, there's campgrounds here, and if there's a fire there, then I'm assuming that's where people have camped before, so. But it was weird, because as soon as I parked, it was like 5-10 minutes later, a guy driving this way, and then slowed down, stopped, got out of his car, stopped his car, and was like, oh, do you have a flat? And I was like, no, I'm fine. And then he got back in his car, and he left, but he went back the other way. And I was like, you were already going this way. That's a little weird that you went back that way. But anyway, so I'm here doing it, and I wish I could show you the stars. We have a little setup, and this is dark as fuck. Like, I cannot express to you how dark this is. I have my little cooler, got my speaker, my chair. This is where there's a fire. I'm assuming people have camped here before. I'm sitting in complete darkness and looking at the stars, and it's the best ever. I'm really happy. Like, really, really happy. I camped and I had so many like weird little things happen, but nobody bothered me until the morning. I woke up at 6 and I was like, oh, I need like a little bit more sleep. So I decided to try to sleep for another hour, and that's when somebody came knocking and they were like, you can't park here. And I just kind of like played dumb a little bit, but there was a campfire. So I assumed that other people were there, but they were like, that's not a campfire. That is where we like burn brush to like avoid wildfires. But it was the size of a campfire. So I was like, that's weird. And it looked like a campfire. There were like logs stacked on top of each other. So it was just a little weird. I was gonna go to Garden of the Gods, but I was looking at trails there and they just don't look like what I'm looking for this experience. And so I found this place called Seven Bridges that looks perfect. Like, it's a little bit in the trees, a little not. It has some water, all of those things. So I'm very excited for that. So that's like an hour away. So I'm driving another hour. So I had to drive like an hour, 45 minutes away from Garden of the Gods just to camp. And now I'm driving back an hour to a different part, and then that's another like hour and a half away from home. So it is what it is, but like, this is like the experience I wanted. And also like, look at this shit. Like, wow, just wow. Got my Creed t-shirt on, going to Moe's Diner, which is in Colorado Springs. It's this cute little spot right here to grab some breakfast before we go on this adventure, because I need real food. I love it. This place is so cute. Like, just look at it. And the food was so fire. How cute is this? I got it from Target. I am ready to go. I have like a 3-minute ride. This is gonna take like an hour to kick in anyway, but I have like a 3-minute ride up to there, and then we are going to go on an adventure. It looks like it's only like a 2-hour hike, but I'm really gonna take my time. Usually I just fucking truck. I got long legs, I like to go fast. Like, I like to stop and take pictures and stuff, but I'm really gonna like sit and absorb, and this is gonna be like a 7-hour thing anyway, so, or 7-ish hour thing. So, and I gotta wait until I don't feel it anymore so I can drive home. So we have a little bit of time for that. Ride here has been so incredible, and it's so funny. There's so many small things, like little reminders from the universe that like, this is a good trip. Like, I saw a double rainbow on the way here. I've seen so many deer, which isn't like crazy, but like, I saw so many deers and like with their little babies, and I always want to see animals in nature, and I really don't see them that often. But when I was in the diner, somebody was playing like the touch tunes, and they played a bunch of Patsy Cline, and Patsy Cline really reminds me of my mom. So that was really interesting. And then when I went to a coffee shop to grab matcha, which was like, honestly, some of the best matcha I've ever had. But it's called Frankly Coffee in Colorado Springs. Highly recommend it. They make all their own syrup. The staff was really nice. Talked to a guy from there that lived in Philly. Like, Philly people are everywhere. But in there, they were playing Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And that's like one of my favorite songs. And I was listening to it on the road trip here. So I thought that was interesting that were like 2 different places I went to that were playing songs that like I like. It was just like a little reminder from the universe, like, this is exactly what you should be doing, so. I really think it's important when you do psychedelics to set an intention. I've done it recreationally, I've done it at festivals, and while it is really fun, one of the best things about psychedelics, which I never knew when I first started, I thought psychedelics were all about like the visuals, which obviously they are, but it's so much more. Look at this fucking tree. Trees are so fucking cool. I'm not even tripping it. It's about the sound, like how things sound. You can hear everything amplified. So the music sounds really good, but then hearing every single person's conversation at the same time sometimes isn't the vibe if like you're not more of a veteran when it comes to that. But I've been to so many festivals and have seen people have bad trips and all the things. So I feel like I'm in a good place where like there's no such thing as a bad trip. It's all gonna teach me something. But I think it's really important to like set an intention for what you want to do. What do you want out of it, especially if you're doing something like this? Like, what do you want to experience? And you can also, the intention, sometimes what I do is there's no intention. I just like let whatever's supposed to come to me, and that's kind of my thing today. My thing today, specifically my intention today, which is my intention almost always when I do psychedelics, is to surrender. To surrender and let whatever comes forward, come forward, let it do its thing, and then that's it. And then it's also important to do like either a meditation or set intention of like having like a white light protect your energy from negative energy, negative spirits, negative entities, all of those things. And so I like to do that too. So I did that in the car before, and now we're just here to experience nature. Feeling a little silly. I only took 1.5 tabs. And I can usually take up to 3 or 4 at a time, so I don't really expect too much. I just didn't, again, want to get like wild and crazy by myself. We're gonna take off my shoes and sit in the water for a little bit, get a little wet, and then see where else we go. Trying to get a video of this while I'm tripping. And there's standing on a fucking edge, 90 degree. Surprised I haven't fallen over. This is amazing. Okay, I've gone completely off the beaten path. The trail ended like a half mile ago, but I'm on all trails, so it can just follow me the way that I came, but this is definitely not a part of the trail. But it looks like people have walked here before, so this is just the epitome of me. My phone's also at 16%. I know. If my friend Kim watches this, she's gonna be like, oh my God, it just keeps going. And like, I keep thinking like, there's something even better the further up I go. So I just keep going. And I know at the end of the day, it's a pretty populated trail. Just walk back the way I came, listen to people's voices. I can charge my phone when I get in the car. Everything's very figure outable. I've always known that. It's taken me a while to really like get into it and believe it. And it doesn't always work all the time, but psychedelics always remind you. What are you worried about? You figure it out. So this isn't about my journey inward, but I still wanted to share it because I don't think there's going to be anywhere for me to share it within this YouTube channel. It's also, in a way, a part of my journey inward because it's a growth that I've made as a business owner and as a coach. It's really cool that I get to do this. So, nothing too fancy, and don't look at that. That's stuff that's supposed to go in storage when I moved here, and then they never created storage, so it's a whole thing. But I have all these balloons, and I couldn't find a welcome sign, so I just bought yay. But there's a gift here. This is for a VIP day of a client of mine, so she's got a gift bag in there. There's like a blanket, there's like a water tumbler. I put a journal, a book, there's a bunch of stuff. It's really cute, but I like have little balloons and everything. We're gonna be doing some exercises later when we have girl time. We're gonna play We're Really Not Strangers. Lots of fun stuff. I have a whole day planned for her. So if you're wondering like what is a VIP day can be whatever, you know, a coach or whoever does what I do decides to do. Essentially where a client like hires you for the day, help them with their business, life, whatever. And so for me, Sammy is getting help with
mainly her business. We'll work on some limiting belief stuff, but she's gonna come here. We're gonna do like a meditation. We're gonna set intentions. We're gonna do some visualizations. I'm gonna look over her schedule for the day, not like today, but her schedule on a day-to-day basis to make sure that she's working efficiently. I find that a lot of clients are working harder, not smarter. And so we're gonna look at that. Then we're gonna do some limiting belief exercises. Then we're gonna go into business and social media. We'll take a break for lunch at some point. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna get ready. Then we're gonna go take some pictures so she has a ton of content. Taking her out to dinner. Then we'll come back to my house, have some girl time, and then she stays here and then she leaves in the morning. So it's a really, really cool experience for you to get a lot done in one day. Also, if you've ever been to like a mastermind or an event and you're around other people, it can just be like a spark that needs to be lit under your business. And I'm really excited for it. I just took myself out to another solo date, which I've been doing. Love that for me. I really didn't feel like doing it this week. I didn't get a chance to do it last week because my parents were in town. And so I still like did stuff for myself, but like I didn't want to let another week go by without doing it. The only reason why I didn't want to do it, it's not that I didn't want to go on the date, it's because I just been running myself ragged. Like my parents were in town last week, and then I went to Pretty Lights at Red Rocks for like 2 days. So it ends up feeling like a 2-day festival. And then I had a client come in for a VIP day, which was really fucking exciting. And so you could do this VIP day with me whether you have a business or not. If you just wanted to like work on your life and like your habits and your routine and your schedule and you wanted to get your shit together, you can do that too. But VIP day is for business or life. And so she came in on Monday, and so that was like a whole thing which I've been prepping for. And then we went out to dinner that day. Got sick, I think. I'm not really sure. I think I'm just like the wildfires and all of it. So it's just been kind of a lot. So I was like, I just went out to eat, but I went to SAFTA. If you live in Denver and you haven't been to SAFTA, please go. It is by far like the best meal I've had since I've been in Denver. It's Israeli, and it's the hummus there, the best hummus I've ever had in my entire life. It was just incredible. And that's definitely going to be one of the places that I take myself out to dinner. I love finding places that I really, really like. And I usually go to Barcelona Wine Bar, but SAFTA is definitely going to be on the menu because I just literally have to try everything on the menu. And it's incredible. So that's why I was like, I just kind of want to stay in. But I'd already gotten ready because I went on a date today, on a coffee date with a guy that I met at speed dating. It was the only guy that I like connected with. I'm like in this space. I just did a podcast episode on this, but I'm in a space where like I'm dating myself, and I don't think I'm quite ready or want to be in a relationship right now because I'm having so much fun doing this journey inward and dating myself. But I also want to leave wiggle room to like, if I happen to meet somebody like I did at speed dating and I go on a date with them, like I want to practice dating because I tend to fall really hard, and I want to practice dating to take the pressure off of it. So like it felt really good to be able to go on this date today and being like, it's just coffee with like a friend basically. And it actually went really well. I'm not saying I'm gonna date this person or not, but I did give him my number because I only give people my Instagram when I first meet them, not my number, because I don't want to have to block people. And I can block people on Instagram, but like with numbers it's like a little bit different. So anyway, that went really great. And so I was already like dressed up and dolled up, and I was like, you know what? Let me go take myself out to eat. So I just went to ramen, and I did a little take-home container. I highly recommend taking yourself to go get ice cream. I don't know what happened, but I do know what happened actually. But on 888, I did a bunch of Lionsgate rituals, which was Thursday, and I felt such a shift when I woke up the next morning. Now listen, I've been doing inner work, therapy, spiritual work, woo shit. I've been doing it all for years, and I've never felt this way. Like I can tell you I've never felt this way. I feel like I've jumped timelines. I feel like I've quantum leaped, and I've heard people talk about that, and I never really understood like what they meant. And I think it's because it's one of those things that you can't understand until it happens to you. Not that I thought it was bullshit, because I love spiritual shit, but it's like one of those things that you can't really wrap. It's like not believing in ghosts, and then you see a ghost for the first time, or you have some kind of like supernatural experience, and then you're like, oh, until you have it happen to you, you don't really like have words for it. And I feel like that's what happened. Best way I can explain it is I feel like any resistance I've had in order to make the changes I need to make, cut certain things out of my life, cut certain habits, environments, do certain things that I've been needing to do but have been avoiding. I feel like the resistance that I felt towards doing them, I don't feel. I feel like I need less willpower in order to get things done. Like, for example, just to like put some things into context, I don't really go out and drink that much anyway. I do like to go out. I'm a Gemini rising and I love electronic music, and a lot of my friends in Denver like to go out and party and go to like bass music shows and house music shows, and I will always do that because I love it. But I've been doing it less and less as I've gotten older. I've also been like drinking less. And so like this past weekend I went out and I didn't drink at all, but I saw some of my favorite DJs. I saw two friends like open up for these DJs, and I didn't even stay till the end, even though it was some of my favorite DJs that I have never seen before. And that's like wild for me because I normally like would have stayed out. It wasn't because I wasn't drinking, because I've stayed out till 3 a.m. sober before, but there was just something where I was just like, I don't really need to be here. And I still want to go out, but I think I'm just like having this desire to go out less. And then the next day I was invited to go DJ at this like camping thing, but I was going to have to DJ like between 4 and 6 a.m. It was going to kind of be like a sunrise thing. And I really wanted to go, but I was like, I don't really want to be up till fucking 6 a.m. and then I got to drive home the next day. Usually I would have so much FOMO and then allow the FOMO to make me do something that like, yes, would have been fun, but I would have been exhausted. It would have bled into my week this week. And so like, I normally like have to fight the FOMO. Didn't even have to fight it, which might not sound like a big deal to some people. That's just like one example, but I feel like certain things that I've been procrastinating on, I've just gotten done in the past few days. I just feel a massive shift, and this journey inward has been insane. And there's so many other things I'm like looking forward to doing. So anyway, just wanted to give you an update. Okay, I'm irritated. Jesus fucking Christ, you have to be kidding me. I've been doing this journey inward, and while it's been going really great, something that I haven't really like talked about that much because I haven't really felt like it was necessary, but I don't want to say all, but a lot of the things I've been doing have like gone wrong. This video is about the failure diaries, and while I am sharing the journey inward and this journey that I'm going through, whatever, so many fucking things have gone wrong, and it's like creating this story in my head, and I keep trying to tell myself it's not true, and then it keeps happening. And it's not just like one time or two times, it's like 90% of the time of the things that I'm like trying to do that are like going wrong. And they're very small, but they're very frustrating. And like right now I feel very overstimulated, I feel dysregulated, and I feel like frustrated because this is a perfect example. Wednesdays are the days I take myself on my solo date, and decided to do that. I got ready this morning, did my whole thing, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Sloan's Lake. Sloan's Lake is like, you can see, but it's fucking raining, so there's that. But it's like this lake that's in Denver. It's really dope. People like play volleyball here, they walk their dogs, and I was like, I want to start taking Ned like on like a weekly like walk around this area, because I usually just take him outside. He doesn't really like walks, but in a place like this he'd like have a lot of fun. And so I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then of course the whole ride here, I hit every red light, and every single person was driving like a complete asshole. Like, I don't know what was going on, but people were driving like assholes. And I kept telling myself, like, don't assume the worst. Don't think this, don't think that. Like, I wasn't trying to, like, because if I, what you think about, you manifest, right? And so I was like, didn't want to manifest it, but it just kept happening. Then I finally get to Sloan's Lake after 30-minute drive when it's literally 4 miles down the road, and it starts raining. I just got my hair done today, and these are all like very much first world problems, but I just got my hair done today, and I don't have a jacket. So if I walk Ned, my hair's gonna get wet, and I'm gonna have to wash it on Friday. Not the end of the world, just not something that I wanted to do. And I'm just like, again, these are such small problems, but like things like this have been happening through my entire journey inward. And I somehow make it like mean about me for some reason, like I suck. And it's like so like mild and minuscule, but I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to have an experience, and then this shit happens. But I'm just trying to find a way to look at it. Obviously, it's happening for a reason. Obviously, it's trying to teach me something. I'm just sharing it because it's a failure in a way, and it's just really fucking annoying. Another solo hike, but we're with Gigi. Already finished the hike. I probably should have taken a video at the top, but there was a lot of people, which is fine. But I have a date later, so we're gonna see how that goes. I'm just feeling really good. I've had these like abdominal issues that are pretty much going away. I had to do the brat diet for like 2.5, 3 days, and then I did a 24-hour fast yesterday, which I'm gonna start adding to doing once a month, because I used to do them and I didn't stop for any reason.
other than like kind of just like forgot. And I realized how good it feels to like give your body like a break from digestion. Gerald, come here. Honestly, I think I could do a 48-hour fast or maybe like a 36-hour fast. I'm continuing my journey inward. I'm continuing to take myself on solo hikes on Fridays. I think I might just do this for the rest of my life. Like even if I'm married, I'm gonna take myself on a date every Wednesday and do a hike every Friday. I just feel like really happy, and not everything in my life is perfect. There's definitely some things, because it's Mercury retrograde when I'm filming this, and like I know people that have been going through it. I haven't been going through it too bad. I'm very fortunate, but when I got to the top of the hike, I sat down on a rock and there were ladybugs everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen like at any time a bunch of ladybugs in one spot. So I'm gonna take that as some good luck. Excited for the weekend. I'm living life, practicing all the gratitude. Yeah, love it. I just live in the most beautiful state in the whole world. Right, Gigi? Mommy loves you. I'm recording this for accountability because I'm terrified. So one of the things in my journey inward, side note, I see a lot of time on social media people who like make fun of people who take videos of them crying. And I think that some people just don't fully understand how social media, and even if you just record it and it's for your own self, social media can be an outlet and it's like a diary. And being someone who's been on social media posting before it was fucking cool, back in 2010, I know how much of a release it is to be able to share certain things. And I know some people might think you're just like, I'm gonna cry for the camera or whatever. It's like, no, I've been sitting here crying, and I realized that I want to capture this moment. One, for accountability, because what I'm doing is sending a message to someone, because in my journey inward, one of the things in the workbook that I created was you needed to pick 3 things in a 30-day period that were really difficult. A challenge for you, physically, mentally, whatever. Challenge for me was having a hard conversation with somebody close to me. And I've been wanting to, I'm not going to give the details, but like, I've been wanting to message them for quite a while now, and I just haven't been able to. This draft has been sitting in my email, and for some reason I want to send it as an email instead of a text. I don't know why. And I'm so terrified of hitting send. And I'm just sitting here staring at it. Put it in my drafts, think back maybe like 2 months ago, and it's just been sitting here. And all I have to do is hit send. And I'm one of those people that has so much willpower and can just like do things. Even when I've had to send like scary texts, I just like send it and then I run away. But for some reason this is like, and it's because it's very very scary to my inner child, and I want to record this because I know I just need to hit send. I'm just so afraid of what's gonna happen after, and I know I'll be fine. I know I'll be able to handle it. I know whatever happens, good or bad, because it could end up being an incredibly great outcome, or it could be a terrible one where I feel invalidated and crazy. Everybody I talk to reminds me that I can do this and I should send it. The mouse is on the send button, and I am never this person. I have so much willpower and like not a lot of fear, and I do things that scare the shit out of me all the time. This is probably one of the scariest things I've ever had to do, and it's so simple. It's not, but it's so simple, and I want to just like click it and run away. Oh, I see, I want to like just do it, and usually I can do that with anything. I sent it. Oh my god. I need to go like regulate myself. I'll be back and I'll tell you what happens. Well, it has been quite a while since I have made a video. I kind of planned on making up all of the videos and all the content that I just shared, and then kind of summing it up, but life got busy, so many ups and downs. And then recently I met someone. It's been about 6 weeks and everything's been going really, really great. But I kind of go back because the whole point of this is to like summarize this experience of doing this whole journey inward. It's funny that I met him after doing this journey inward, and it was like very much one of those not expecting anything. I had actually gone back on the apps eventually after like breaking up with a guy that had caused this whole journey inward. After I was like, okay, I think I've had enough time. I don't really know if I want to date. Let me just kind of like practice. And if I meet someone someone, cool, but if not, no big deal. And so I did that, and I'll talk about that in a second, but like I did that and then made some connections, but I was just like, I'm not really feeling it. So I deleted the apps, went to a music festival, and then ended up meeting him at the music festival, which was really funny. So it's been 6 weeks. He's the golden retriever boyfriend that I've always wanted, and he's not my boyfriend yet. Very much into each other. He's so sweet. He treats me amazing. He's only 25, which is fucking absolutely insane. Who knows when this video is actually going to come out, and maybe I'll have already talked about him on social media or not. Maybe this will be the first time that I do. I don't really know. That's pretty crazy, but he's way more emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent, and he's a Gemini, so obviously, and a Cancer rising and a Sag moon. And I don't know. I just really, really like him, and everything's been going great so far. So who knows? There's always that like 90-day rule, so we're waiting that out. That's Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
We're just gonna walk. Let's walk. And honestly, I'm like a disciplined person when it comes to like business and like working out and my routines, but when it comes to falling in love or being in a relationship, I cannot be super patient. I can want to spend all my time with someone. I've worked a lot on my anxious attachment, so there's definitely a lot more of a balance, but he's the younger one and he's teaching me about like patience and just like taking things slow, even though like he wants me to be his girlfriend, but like we're waiting. Like he's already told me that a bunch of times, but we just want to be smart with it, you know what I mean? So that is where I'm at, but let's kind of go back. I started this journey inward because I wanted to improve my relationship with myself. And I had already been doing that when I went boy sober, or I got a divorce, and then I went through all of that, and then went through my situationship that fucked me up, and then went in this relationship with the guy that I was just in, and then all of these things. And my goal was just to improve my relationship with myself. I wanted to be okay with being alone. The thing I kept saying was that I wanted to romanticize my relationship with myself so much that a man coming in and competing with that would be difficult. And the man I'm with now is like very easily competing with that. I also wanted to just be in a really great place. So when I was possibly dating someone, it was just a cherry on top. It was really what I wanted. I didn't want to just be in a relationship. I wanted to be with that person. And I had realized with like my past situationship and then the guy I dated for like 6 weeks was I think I just wanted to be in a relationship, and I didn't really want to be with those people. I definitely liked them, but like reflecting on it, I was like, yeah, I just kind of wanted attention. And not that I didn't care about those people, but like I was kind of filling a void a bit. I don't want to feel that at all. I want to be with the person. But everything about just his soul and who he is as a person, the way he treats me, I'm like, oh my God, we're the same fucking person. But not in like a unhealthy way. It's just like, it seems like we're two fucking peas in a pod. It's wild. The things we have in common are just insane. And obviously our values and our characteristics and all of that stuff. But I just adore him. He is, I don't know. I'll share more about him anyway. This journey inward, I did that. And I feel like everything that I shared and like all the things that I did and the time I spent with myself and the dates I took myself on and the hikes I went on and like the journaling that I did and like microdosing and all of that stuff was so much fun. I highly recommend that you do something like this. I have my 30-day journey inward workbook that I've talked about a few times already. You can check that in the show notes and like show notes description. You get the idea. You don't have to do it. I didn't make this video just to sell that workbook. Hopefully after you watch this video and you see maybe a transformation, hopefully that's what you see, you'll be encouraged to do it. The workbook's like $27. Take it seriously. Like, even if you don't do the workbook, like, just think about going on at least 30 days, if not more, a journey to know yourself more, to ask yourself questions, to spend intentional time with yourself, not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my nails done. Like, that's still beneficial, and I'm not knocking you if you're just doing that. But there's a difference between that and like a really good set up plan. Like with the Journey Inward workbook, I show you how I use Asana to like keep me on track. And so like you can set an intention and set a goal to like take yourself out on a date every week, but do you have it set up to in a way to like be a part of your actual schedule? Do you keep a certain day clear? Like for me, Wednesday nights were my nights. Friday days were my hike days. There was nothing that could come in between that unless something that I really, really wanted to do. There was no bailing on myself. I made that shit happen. And I also made sure that I was doing like intentional work with myself when it came to shadow work, inner child work, things like that. And it wasn't just kind of like, oh, I'm spending time with myself. Like it was very intentional. It's so crazy to me, even just in that small amount of time, even though I kept doing it, how much I feel like I started to actually fully embody what I had been trying so hard to do, which was have that healthy relationship with myself, where a man coming in, he was going to have to like show the fuck up if he was going to like be in my world. And it wasn't just about dating. It was just about how I wanted to feel with myself. But now that I'm in this, like we're not in a relationship at the time I'm recording this video, which is November 7th. We're not technically in a relationship yet. We've only known each other for 6 weeks, but it's so healthy and the communication is so great that I'm like looking at the things I'm saying and doing when there's been like there hasn't even really been like any conflict at all. And all of it has been like handled so healthy, and the way I'm responding and the way I'm reacting and the way like my OCD and my overthinking and my anxious attachment and my abandonment issues. One, it's not being triggered by him because he's not fucking triggering it because he's a healthy person. I'm also realizing that the way I'm reacting is also healthy too, which I always felt like I was, but there were definitely things I wanted to improve on after getting my divorce. And looking back, I'm like, wow, I am actually doing these things. And like, I always thought I could, but there's a difference between when like you're kind of working on something, but then you actually in real life, in real time, see yourself doing it. Like that's been the best fucking part about this. And I'm just so proud of myself. So to wrap this up, really recommend you go on a journey inward, like an intentional 30 days, every day you're doing something for yourself that, again, I keep using the word intentional, but it's so important because I know a lot of you guys are doing things like this. And I'm not saying like the way I do it is the only right way. I'm just saying like, make sure if you're doing a journey inward, like it's intentional and you aren't half-assing it. Like these things are set up, they're non-negotiables. You're making time for yourself and you're making time to not only spend time with yourself, but to do the work and to challenge yourself and to get outside your comfort zone. If you liked this video, I'd love for you to share it with someone. I'd love for you to comment, like, follow, all of that fun stuff, but really comment and like let me know like your thoughts. If you've done the 30-day journey inward, I know a lot of you guys have gotten the workbook and I've gotten some really great messages from you about it. I really want this to like be something that a lot of people are trying. And I'm even thinking about possibly doing like a challenge for this, like maybe sometime in the future, depending if there's a lot of interest. We'll have like maybe a group chat or something like that, something really simple, but where we're doing the journey inward and we're all doing it together. And then like maybe even doing like some prizes and things like that to help with the accountability of it all, because I am an accountability coach. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy with like where my business is at and where my life is at and where my relationship with this guy is at and like my friendships and like how I feel about myself and my physical health and everything like that. It's not perfect for sure. Like definitely not perfect. And I want to be further ahead in certain areas, but I'm just really happy being in the present moment of where I'm at. And it really had a huge deal to do with this 30-day journey inward. And I can say that with full confidence. So until the next fuck up.
All I got are failures.